To introducing our first speaker. Her name is Mags O'Brien. She has a grounded, soulful approach to transformation. So, Mags has spent over 30 years helping people rediscover their power and live intentionally. Today, she's guiding us through a powerful conversation on burnout, how to recharge, realign, and rebalance. So, please welcome Mags O'Brien to the stage.
Thank you, Laurie. Thank you, Dana. And thank you for the invitation. I'm so excited to be speaking with you all today. And I hope what I share is really, really helpful. So my question for you today as a start is, what if burnout is simply misalignment? We hear a lot about burnout these days and how people are stressed and that they're really struggling to move forward in their life and in their business. And if we look at what's happening in the outside world, outside of this sacred circle, there is a lot of stress out there, there's a lot of burnout, and then we in this circle are looking to have our soul-led, heart-led business. And the thing is that we're kind of in between two paradigms. So when we're trying to run our business, it's like we do it this way, we market this way, we have to pull an all-nighter if we have to, and every now and again that's fine, but not as a way of being. So what's happened is that we can be conditioned into a way of doing business, and then we're trying to have a heart-led, soul-led business, and it kind of crashes in the middle. How do I know that? I've done it myself, and also with the clients that I work with, we can see that's happening. But for us, for our passion, what we want to get out there and how we want to help people, we have to do it another way. And it starts with ourselves. So what I'd like to do is offer you some insights and some ideas and things to think about. And it's an invitation. And I'm sharing my experience. It may resonate or it may not. So the old ways like go, 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 but it doesn't work for us. Okay. And when we are wanting to run a soul-led business, it begins with a soul-led life. It begins with us. Now, there's lots of ways that we can do that. And this summit, you will hear lots of ways and pick what resonates for you. One thing that's helped me is quantum human design. And when I was 29, which is a little while ago, I had a complete burnout. I didn't know it was a burnout in those days, but I certainly hit a wall, and my soul said, I can't do this anymore. And it led me onto a 30-year healing pathway. And as I was healing myself, my thoughts, healing my mindset, the one thing I couldn't heal was my energy. I had boom and bust energy. It gave me boom and bust money. It gave me a boom. My business didn't go bust, but I was so frustrated that I've got all this passion in my business, and it was like, yeah, let's go for it. And then I'd go splat. And I do talk to them upstairs, and I'm sure some of you do as well. I'd wag my finger and go, what's going on here? So one day I was really fed up, and I did really wag my finger, and the message I got back was human design. So there's lots of different human design schools and thoughts out there. I had a look at them, and I found quantum human design because I'd done a lot of inner work. The quantum side of it really floated my boat. So that really helped me and showed me how I could work with my business. So if you guys have got your chart, for me, it turned out I was a projector. So if any of you guys are a projector, then you might resonate with some of this story. But it's not only about projectors, because burnout can look different to each different time. Dana put it there. So each type can burn out differently. Or should I say, if you can see the chart there and you can see where my finger is on that white square, okay, that's on your sacral. If you know human design, then sorry if I'm making it basic, but some people may not. So if this is coloured in, that means you're a generator type, so a manifesting generator or a generator. And what burnout can look to you guys is, it's like you've got depleted energy, you live in a half life, you just like doing the next thing just to get through. Because you do have the life force, workforce energy to keep going. But if that square is white, so that's like 70% of the population. If that square is white, that's approximately 30% of the population. We do the proverbial, what you think about burnout to be, like splat on the sofa, dribbling, annoyed, you can't get anything done, and it is frustration. However, I will say that generator types, if they try really, really, really hard, they can get in that state as well, but I wouldn't advise it. So, how can we heal from burnout if we've got it, no matter what degree? Or if we're new to our business and we're going, yeah, we're so excited, how can we avoid burnout? Okay, so the first thing I would say to you is about recharging your energy, and resting and going on spa days, even for the guys, going on spa days is not going to cut it by itself, because again, it looks different to different types. And it's about honoring your body, because what can happen is, again, the way we're conditioned, it's like we get all these ideas in our head about how we want our life and business to be, and then we drag the body along a bit like a machine that does the doing. And in all honesty, when we stop and slow down, yes, even manifesting generators can slow down a little bit, they can still multitask, but just let's take a breath and really be in our body and allow our body, our intuition, our knowing to guide us. Okay, so when we are depleted, the universe goes, you haven't got the energy for new opportunities. You haven't got the energy for that exciting thing you want to do. And when you do have, we'll bring it you. But where they're going, oh God, I want this, it's not happening. So therefore, we're still depleting ourselves. So rest then, what can that look like? So when you're a generator or a manifesting generator, if I said to you, like I've said to some of my manifesting generator or generator friends, oh, well, why don't you go to bed early? Why don't you, lay on the sofa and watch a film? Or as you guys say, a movie. And they'll go, oh no, that's the worst thing. So for you generator types, it could be going for a gentle walk. It could be doing something that is still physical, because you need to run your battery down so that when you go to bed to sleep, you hit the pillar and you go to sleep and you're not there twitching all night. Okay, so that's how you can rest. Now, for the rest of us, for the manifestors, projectors, and reflectors, we do need to rest properly. Okay, we need to go to bed before we're really tired. We need like half an hour or more just to decompress that energy and make sure that we get good sleep. And again, when we've been in, because we've got inconsistent energy, when we've been out there doing things, then we need to come back and replenish ourselves. And also for everyone, play is a good thing. And especially if some of you guys have got that open route that says, when I've got everything done, I'll have a rest. Well, let me tell you, that will never end. So what you need to do, it's like, what's the worst thing that can happen if I don't do this and I rest instead? So that is the recharge. You really do need to do that piece for everyone. Rest is sacred. It's part of the creative cycle. Okay, when we have that quiet time, you know, when you get in the shower and you get all the good ideas, that's because you're not running anywhere doing a million things. Okay, so that's where that can work. The next thing is realign, and realign is where, for me, the human design chart comes in, or the quantum human design chart comes in. So let me tell you a few things first. First of all, everyone has all the chart. So the coloured in parts are your soul curriculum, and the white parts are what you experience through your connection with others. Okay, so you've got all the chart and you're here to experience all the chart. The coloured in is things that are more in your awareness. The white bits, or the white bits, or undefined, that's the word that escaped me. The undefined are where we take in energy from others. And the challenge there is what we're thinking, feeling, doing ours or someone else's? And if we keep on taking other people's energy and stuff, I'm not talking energy vampire stuff, I'm talking the normal energy interaction with people. I'm not talking about anything horrible, although that can happen, but the general normal nice stuff. We can get depleted. So we have all the chart. The other thing is the chart doesn't label you. Okay, I'm a projector, I am not lazy. I'm a projector, I can do anything as long as I enter into it correctly. And the same with all of us. Okay, so there's, in my world, and I know people have different opinions, and that's perfectly fine, that, if you're a this, you do that, and if you're a that, you can do that. And for me, that's not my experience. For me, the chart is a soul map. It shows you how you're wired. And the picture that I have in my head is like, this is a bit of a crazy one, but I like it. So when we're up there deciding that we're going to come down and be incarnated, we design our kitchen, right? Can we get with that? So we design our kitchen and we work out where the wiring and the plumbing needs to go before we come down. And then when we come down, we can put the appliances and the units in. When we're in alignment, we put everything in the right place and we've got a fully functioning kitchen. But if we're not in alignment, if we put the wrong appliance against the wrong thing, it blows up. Or if we put the wrong units in the wrong place, then the kitchen's all a bit funky and annoying. So I hope that gives you an amusing visual. So that's what the chart is. It is a soul map. So alignment starts, as some of you know, with human design, it starts with type, strategy, and authority. And in this short time, I can't go into it in detail, otherwise I'll be in trouble because there's lots of other fabulous speakers after me. But just generally then, manifestors, you're in alignment when you inform. You get this intuitive knowing what can happen to you. You get this intuitive knowing and you go off over here and people go, hey, Catherine, where are you going? What's up? And it's like, oh, you've interrupted my flow. So as a way of being in alignment, you learn how to inform and then initiate. And then Catherine can go off. They go, oh, yeah, she's doing her thing. We know it's all right. Let's celebrate her when she comes back after doing this amazing thing. Generators, one thing that they do is they have this stair-step learning. So it's like, woohoo, they learn really quick and they love it. And then it plateaus, and that's annoying. And then they get frustrated and it's like, this is not working. And then they quit. And they do it again and again and again. And once more for luck. And that burns generators out. What they need to know that helps them is that, yes, they have this great learning, woohoo! The plateau is integration. Because at the end of the day, as much as you want to keep going like that, we can't. Okay, so that's integration. And then that frustration bit is a building of momentum for the new woohoo, right? The new growth. And when you get to the top of that new growth, it's like, do I stay or do I quit? You don't quit there. So then that's how you get mastery. Okay. And sometimes it can be right to quit, but understanding how that works can really save the generators a lot of grief. And the same for the manifesting generators, because the manifesting generators are a hybrid between the manifestors and the generators. And the other thing for our manifesting generators is you guys are multitaskers. You are the only ones that can multitask. Everyone else, stop it. Okay. So when all of us, so there's around 35% of the population are manifesting generators. So that's 65% of us go in, do one thing at a time. It's like, no, that's not how you're wired. And if you try and do that, that's going to burn you out. Okay. These are very headline things. Projectors, again, wait for the invitation for the big things. You don't have to wait for the invitation to go for a coffee. You don't have to wait for the invitation to do your website or your marketing. Sorry, you can keep going with that. It's not an excuse. But for the big things like getting married, moving house, taking on a big client, things like that, it's wait for the invitation, but you can ask for the invitation. So we can learn how to do that and how to use your projector energy properly. Okay. And I've had to learn that, and it does work. It does take time and faith, but it works. And then with the reflectors, people go, oh, reflectors, they must be so delicate. I've met some amazing reflectors, and their energy is fabulous because they're in the right place with the right people. So the thing that drains reflectors is, first of all, our fast world, and that they can't always make decisions within the time that can drain them, but also being in environments where they're amplifying energy of people and things that are not in alignment with them. So that's how you can burn out, but also what you can do. So the reflectors then need to be in right place, right environment, and work out the best that they can to give themselves time to make those right decisions. So that's one part of it. So that's the strategy for each type. Authority is really important as well. This is how we make decisions. So the sacral authority, this is for the generators and manifesting generators. You've got this inner yes, no. And when you know how your sacral authority works, it's amazing. And we ask you yes, no questions, which we are conditioned to call rude. Are you going to do this? Are you going to do that? Is this right for you? It's not rude for you guys. Okay. And it'll help you get that yes, no to make the right decisions and to stop doing the things that drain you. Okay, you've got the emotional authority, and this is where we have to wait for clarity. I've got emotional authority. We are not made for spontaneity for big things. Yeah, I'm going to go for a coffee is, that's not going to do anything terrible. But for the bigger things, it's like you need to wait over your emotional wave, and we feel that in our bodies. Okay, so those of you that are spontaneous, those with splenic authority, just know that half the population don't operate that way, and vice versa. Okay, so just some understanding there. But splenic, it's instant knowing. And then ego or resource authority, you make a decision when you know that you've got the resources to do what you're doing. There's something that's called like no authority, lunar authority, mental authority. There's a group of authorities that are basically you need to talk through and have a sounding board so that you hear your own wisdom. You don't need fixing. You don't need anyone. How annoying is it when you need this sounding board and someone's going, well, why don't you do this? And why don't you do that? And why don't you do that? And it's like, why don't you just shut up and listen to me? I don't need you to fix me. But you can't say it because they'll get upset. So see if you can find yourself a sounding board somebody who will listen, give you the gift of listening. That is so, so important. So when we use our strategy and our authority, we can stop forcing and start flowing. So that can really help us realign. And then the third step is rebalance. And rebalance is about once we started to find what is restful for us, and we start to integrate that into the way we live, because it becomes a way of being. You know, for me as a projector, I know that I go whoop, get a load of work done, and I know that I need to diarize afterwards, rest, okay, or some time out. So when you understand your type and how it all works, it's like create a lifestyle that can work for that and with that. And you know, if you live when you live with others, then it's good to know what their type, strategy, and authority is, and you know, do it together as a collective, as a family, friends, however that works for you. So we can start to integrate that. And then when you start to know what your authority is and your strategy, and you start to work with that, things start to ease. You start to stop doing things that don't work for you. And then that means that you've got that creative space, you feel much better in yourself, and then miracles can really appear. In my experience, what happens is sometimes if we're sat there worrying, we're using our energy and we can deplete. So I've learned to take a deep breath and trust. And it's not like I'm sat there going, oh, universe, give it me, sort it all out, because they don't. But when I engage, it's like the next thing turns up, the next thing turns up, the next thing turns up. I mean, this turned up, and this is amazing. I really love it. But this turned up out of the blue. And it's like, yes, let's do that. So the more aligned we are, the brighter we shine. The brighter we shine, the more people go, who can I pick on? Hey, Christoph, I see your energy. You're the one I want to work with. So, you know, that's how it works. That's amazing. So, what I want to do, I'm aware of time. So, just to round up, burnout can look different to each design. So, don't assume it's just splatting out on the sofa and not being able to move. It looks different. Recharging, realigning, rebalancing can help you transform that burnout. Keep asking, what's in alignment with me? What's in alignment for me? Feel it in your body. Use your sacral response if you're a generator type. There's other ways if you're a non-generator type. We are, as a collective, seeding a new way of being, a new way of living, a new way of doing business. And it's not easy because we're straggled between two paradigms, but stay with it. When we have the well-being, when we've got an overflowing cup, we are showing others that they can do it for themselves. So for me, for you guys, as a soul-led business, we are the future. We are courageous, we are heart-led, and we're lightening the path for others. So keep going. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mags. That was awesome. And I think everyone we need to get our kitchens in order, right? I love that. Yeah, so are there any questions for Mags?
Yes. Oh, Kathy.
I want to say thank you for that. Human design has been so paramount for me. I'm curious. I'm a manifester. What is my authority? How do I know as a manifester where my authority is?
So it depends. You could have you got your chart?
I do, but not up on my screen.
Right, okay. So if you have a look on your chart and you go, let's have a look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 down on your chart, it will tell you what your authority is. Because some authorities go over different types. So some authorities, it's like this type can only have this authority, but some authorities go over a number of types. So I can't say, oh, you're a manifestor, so you this. Does that make
Okay.
sense? But that's where you find it.
Okay, thank you.
Excellent. My pleasure, love.
Mags, I love how you said, a soul-led business begins with a soul-led life.
Yes.
And I completely agree. How could you, it just doesn't make sense that it could be in alignment if you yourself are not there first. Like, it's
Yeah.
just who you are. It just spills out into everything you do, right? So if you aren't loving yourself wholly, how can you love everybody, the people around you wholly? And I think that you can have that increased compassion for others and yourself when you learn to have the compassion for yourself and to learn about you. And that's where human design has just taken like my spirituality and my religious faith to a whole nother level, to see those divine parts and to see those divine identities, and that no, this is what I'm here to do, and have that validation. It really does start
Yeah.
here with us.